Hey folks, it's your old pal Skinny here again. In the garage with me today, I've got my dear friend Jeff Lee. Jeff, say hi to the folks out here in Facebook land for me.
How's everybody doing out there today?
So, for those of you that don't know, Jeff here is one of the main promoters and the main brain behind Okie Raceway Park, which is a brand new drag racing event right here in Muskogee, America. So Jeff, everybody wants to know, people have been talking about getting drag racing in Muskogee for decades.
I've heard that.
But so far, only one person has been able to do it, and that's been you. So how did we get here, man? What's the story?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think maybe it's just because I walked in one day and held my mouth right. I don't know. I've been working for the city now for right at 30 years.
You've been there a minute or two.
I think that's probably had a little bit to do with it. I know pretty much everyone that works or indoor resides within the city as far as working for the city.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the idea come to me a little over a year ago, and I went in and talked to Mark Wilkerson over the parks. That's where this racetrack is, or
Yeah, it's at the old Hatbox Airfield,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's run by Parks and Rec right now, right? Correct?
It is run by Parks and Rec right now, yes. Anyway, talked to Mark, and he was pretty much on board with it, and of course, due to the whole COVID thing, we had to back off, so we couldn't do anything early.
Yeah, because you guys want to get started in the spring, correct?
Yes, we wanted to get started early this spring, but we weren't able to do it.
I gotcha.
I feel like we should just start this thing all over again.
That's not so bad. Yeah, you're a natural, Jeff. Come on.
I don't know about that.
So I think a lot of this had to do with some big support from some important people, like our dear mayor, the Reverend Coleman, right?
Yes, Marlon Coleman had a lot to do with this. He was a really big supporter from the very word go, and that was even before he made mayor. The man's really impressed me. He has absolutely gained every ounce of respect I could possibly have for him.
Agreed.
He's a really good man, 100%. Our city managers, they've both been very supportive of this as well. They've just let me know that if there's anything I need, let them know.
Awesome. So before all this, before you went to the city with this idea, you've been going around to a lot of other racing events, both in-state and out of state, trying to make contacts. What's that been like for you?
Expensive.
Expensive.
A lot of time behind the wheel, but no, we've been out of town, out of state. We've traveled around quite a bit. We went two or three states farther away from here, and just trying to get more of a feel for the guys themselves, the drivers themselves, and get more of an idea of the different types of tracks and what they look more for versus what we had available.
What their kind of rule setups and everything, what they like to look for, right?
Yeah, their rules, their different classes, what seemed to be most popular at the time, or what's most popular now. So
in my understanding, the rule set that you guys have went with is very close and mirrors exactly that of what's run at Hartshorn for the street races down there, like Clash on the Concrete, correct?
yeah, we actually had a little bit different set of rules.
In the beginning, right?
In the very beginning, but after we got down there and we spent some time and talked with a lot of the drivers, I decided just to adopt the same rules that they had in our True Street and Dated Driver class.
Makes sense.
It was just going to be a lot simpler and easier on the drivers, and I want to work with the drivers and do everything I can for them to make them happy, because it's those guys that actually make the show.
Absolutely. No drivers, no show, right?
That's exactly right, 100%.
So then once we get into the next part, where would you like to go from here? I mean, this is a huge facility. For you people that have never been there, Okie Raceway Park is actually located right here in Muskogee at the old Hatbox Army Airfield. So there's a lot of space out there. There's a couple of hangars out there. There's two that have actually just been renovated by the city. There are RV hookups out there for your RVs. There's camping spots out there. There's everything you could possibly need out there. There's even Wi-Fi spots out there that the city can turn on intermittently. I mean, what would you like to do from here? I mean, we looking at a couple races a year, hopefully, out of you guys?
No, I'm hoping to actually be able to get somewhere between 3 to 6 races, maybe a year, plus maybe a big special race or two. And my co-partner, John Rawson, been actually talking with him, and we'd kind of like to have a few more testing tunes throughout the year as well. We would really like to start trying to introduce motorcycles, quads, a hard tower class, a tailgate class. All of that takes a tremendous amount of time.
Hey, incremental growth, that's what I like to hear. One step at a time.
Yeah, exactly. One step at a time. I'm just trying to get this out of the way right now. Hope I don't upset very many of those folks out there with motorcycles, quads, tailgates, etc. We're getting our feet wet. we're experimental stages. We're at the very infant stages of all this, but I see big things coming.
Well, that's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand that have only been on the spectator side and have never been behind the scenes working an event like this. Is there's a lot of logistics that go into it, and there's only so much time in the day, so we can't always get the motorcycles, but we're going to get there, right?
I'm hoping to eventually get there. Yes, I'm hoping that sometime in the first part of the spring I can get a motorcycle class along with a quad class there, and again maybe be able to introduce a hard tire class along with tailgate class.
So for right now, for October 17th, the Battle on the Blacktop, we've got what? Big tire class, small tire. You've got your daily drivers and your true streets, correct?
That's it. You got it.
All right, that's what I like to hear. Folks, I think there's going to be a lot of people there for October 17th. I think there's going to be a lot of cars there for October 17th. And I think we're just about done with this interview. What do you think, Jeff?
I'm good.
You're good?
If you're good,
I know
yes.
you're starting to sweat a little bit.
It's hot in here.
It is a little toasty. All right, folks, this is just about done. And as always, I'm Skinny, he's Jeff, and we're going to see you on the Blacktop.